So you found a second-hand rifle you want to buy, but you don't really know what to check for. It's kind of like buying a car. So the better you can check it, the better you know that you're going to get a good deal. So I've just picked up this Zastava M70 in 9.3 by 62. We're going to use this as our test bed to go over this rifle and check a few things out. So let's jump into it. Here we have our rifle. It's pretty standard. It's a rifle. All right, so let's look over a few things. So as the buyer, probably one of the first things you're going to ask the seller is, how many rounds has it shot, mate? And every seller's going to tell you, you know, just shy of 100. Only really sighted it in. I didn't really do much else with it. Sat in the safe. It was a bit of a safe queen, you know, and here it is. And this is what you're presented with. Now, I can tell you that this rifle has shot a shitload more than 100 rounds, just purely based on how hard the rifle has been run. You can tell that from a few different things. So as a tertiary look over, look, the stock doesn't look too scuffed up. These Zastava stocks are actually very hardy. All right, listen to that compared to, let's have a look at a Remington stock. Yep, hollow, not hollow. So these stocks are pretty good, they're pretty sturdy, they don't really flex too much up here. It is what it is, it's a synthetic stock. If you want something better, buy something better. Anyway, all the rubber inserts or the soft inserts on this seem fine. Probably not too worried about the stock. It's probably going to get a stock change anyway. The recoil pad has not been overworked, hasn't been dropped. The recoil pad on this is hard as 10 hard things, so that's probably going to get replaced, but that's a job for another day. While we're looking over the outside of the action, I can notice a couple of things already, if this camera is going to bloody focus. All right, so we can notice a couple of things here. What is this red stuff? You can see it up on top of that screw head there and along the back here. It's really hard to use a pointer looking through the viewfinder of a camera. Anyway, so in a second, we're going to rip those bases off and see what is underneath them. Looking at our extractor, there isn't too much damage on there. All right, so still looking at the outside. All right, so we can see our floor plate has been worn. Now, the reason that's been worn is this has been carried extensively at the trail, which is how I like to carry my guns as well. Fucking focus, you dog cunt. So that's all from hand sweat and, you know, grime, grit, everything rubbing has rubbed that off. That's not necessarily a bad thing, but if you're looking for pretty, then obviously that's not pretty. What that does tell you though is this has been hunted a lot in its lifetime, this rifle. Now, when you go and check at a gun shop, you're probably not going to have your torque wrench with you to check the torque on these, but one thing I do like to do when I pick a rifle up is to check the torque, because number one reason why you've got shit accuracy is usually someone has taken this out of the stock and hasn't torqued it back up correctly, and then you wonder why the point of aim is shifting as you're shooting. Now, I can see that these screw heads are a little bit fucked up. So with your action screws, one thing, particularly if it's European like this, some European manufacturers make them with metric screw heads, some make them with imperial. If you don't know what it is, probably check it. So I have a 5/32 here and I have a 4mm. Very, very close in size, but not the same thing. So if I try the 4mm, has a little bit of slop in those screw heads. However, if I try the 5/32, it's pretty snug. So find which one fits the screw head the best. Don't just think, hey, that's close enough, because you will stuff up the screw heads like this one has here. All right, so definitely something to check. Now, as I said, you're probably not going to have a set of, you're probably not going to have a torque wrench in the gun shop, but, you know, before you shoot it, I would probably check that. Now, we've done our look over on the outside of everything. Let's have a look at how this all functions. All right, so a bolt is not the smoothest thing in the world, but it is a Zastava, and they are known for being well made, but a little bit rough around the edges. So let's take our bolt out. Now, we're looking at the front of our extractor to see if it's got any burrs or chips or any other sort of abnormalities, particularly on this style of extractor, because people would be single feeding into the chamber and jumping that claw extractor over the rim of the cartridge, which can be done on some modern ones if it has the correct bevel. Some older K98Ks and stuff like that really don't enjoy you doing that. So it depends on which type of Mauser you've got, but we're checking that. If you're not buying a Mauser, still check your extractor, and you would have an ejector plunger on there. We don't have an ejector plunger, so I can bother with that. Another thing to check is going to be your foreign pin protrusion hole. Is it completely round? Does it appear to be round? Does it have any chips, burrs, foreign debris, carbon buildup? Does it have a ring around here? Now this one is actually a very clean bolt, and what I'll show you is another Mauser bolt that is not so good. You can see on this one, there is a little bit of a cut ring. That's gas cutting from gas escaping around the primer, particularly on, this is an old military bolt, with the older, shitter primers, they do gas cut the front of the bolt a fair bit. So that is one thing to look at, one thing to bear in mind. Not the end of the world, but if that's really deep, you might need to get the bolt fixed and or replaced. So the rest of our extractor is fine on this. There's no real big dings, burrs, cuts, anything. What I am going to look at now is the cocking piece. Now this one here has a different style of cocking piece. This is our cocking piece here. Yep, so that's our square cocking piece, as opposed to that style of cocking piece, which is that one there. All right, so I'm going to check the front edge where the sear would engage and see if it's dinged up, burred, rolled over, filed off. So that's fine. All right, so our bolt looks pretty good. Now we're going to look into our receiver. So I'm going to grab the camera and point you down what I'm looking at. Here is our sear. All right, so we're going to check that. It's nice and square. It's a right angle, not rolled off, not burred, not filed. And I'm really sorry about the focus on this. This camera is really not playing the game for me today. We can notice a little bit of dirt and gunk and crap built up in here, which is not the end of the world. Don't confuse a dirty rifle for a shit rifle. However, it may be a bargaining tool. So you can say to the person you're going to buy off, look mate, pretty filthy, so I don't really know how well this has been looked after. And then you can bargain for some more stuff. Ooh, look at this. I don't know if you're going to be able to see in there. Right down in there. See all that crap? That looks like trees and plants. Look at that. Ooh, that's quite disgusting. It probably accounts for some of the roughness of the bolt. All right, so obviously this needs a fucking good clean. Guys, if you're selling a rifle, maybe clean it. Might help the new owner out. Might also help you secure a better deal on the rifle. All right, on this one we're going to check our ejector, which is in here, which you can't really see, but just take my word for it. I'm checking that on our rails here. This is pretty common for a Zastava, from what I've seen, is machining marks. Come on, machining marks and shit in here. Not the end of the world, that can be polished. So, doesn't really matter. Mag follower, we'll get to that in a second. Feed ramp. Is it smooth? Is it burred up? This one seems to be pretty good. A little bit of marking up on the edge here, but that's just machining marks, not actually the face of the ramp here, which is kind of what we're looking for. Up in the locking lugs, up in here, which you can't see. And then, obviously, the chamber bore. You're going to look down the bore. I'm not going to be able to show you down the bore of this rifle. But everyone has looked down the bore before. It's kind of like kicking a tyre on a Jeep when you're buying it and going, yeah, it's got a bore. What we are going to check, though, is the crown of the muzzle. Now, am I going to be able to get the camera to focus? It's probably the best I'm going to do. All right, check the crown. You're checking that it's not dinged, burred, it's been dropped, dented, scuffed up, fucking had a steel pipe thrown down at anything. Yeah, Crown of the muzzle is going to mostly determine your accuracy. If the crown is fucked, your accuracy will be shit. So check that. I said we were going to get onto the sight bases, so we may as well do that now, and then we'll look at the internal box magazine. I wonder, oh, not going to fight us. All right, so I don't know what this red shit is, but it's coming out everywhere. Ooh. Okay. That looks to be, that's going to focus, red plastic, like almost like Teflon tape. So that tells me that these are probably not the correct screws for the holes. I'm not too sure about that. Let's have a look when we rip the rest of this off. Yep, more on there. Oh, Jesus. All right, I know what this is. This is rubber sealant that you would put on a tap fitting, like plumbing, like not really gasket stuff, but this shit. Yeah, okay. Not the end of the world, but maybe don't do that. So they may have had an issue with accuracy with this gun, and that's why they've resorted to that potentially. Let's have a look at the rear. So obviously, you're not going to be able to pull this stuff apart in the gun shop when you look at it. However, as I noted from my tertiary look over, I did notice some red stuff, so that might be a bit of a flag straight up. Now you can see that on the bottom of that base there. Yum yum. So we pulled all that out. I'm going to get some of this fucking red shit out the way. That's pretty gross. Alright, so look at this internal box mag. Alright, so pretty dirty, but doesn't seem to be fucked. That locks down fine. The internal box mag itself looks fine. It just, yeah, is dirty. Spring, no cracks in the spring. No weird bends, because you have a weird bend in a spring. It's not going to work in the way it's designed, and that will lead to a stress fracture or stress riser, which will break. And yeah, just all in all, a little bit filthy. Just nothing a good clean with a brush can't handle. Yeah, nice. Right, so let's just quickly function check it. Yep, it's still clear. It's on safe, doesn't fire. The bolt doesn't open because this locks the bolt on safe. So that's one thing we're going to check. Everything functions correctly. Now, it goes on to fire. It does fire, I've checked already. I'm going to run a trigger gauge over this real quick. £3.5. Yeah, 3.5 pounds. So it's not terrible. I did feel this trigger. A little bit of creep in it. Probably not the best, but that's something that we can have a look at. So there you have it. That's my quick little down and dirty of just checking a few things over on this gun. What are we going to do with this gun though? I feel like we could probably do a bit of a series with this. We have a stock standard from the factory Zasti, all right? I feel like I should probably throw a scope on it, take it out, shoot it, get a couple of baseline groups, and then I feel like we should go through and do some accurizing on this rifle. So, what do you reckon? Pull it apart, blueprint the action. I feel like I might lop something off the barrel because it's 22 inches and I'm feeling like I might want a 20-inch gun instead of a 22-inch gun. So, yeah, we might lop the barrel down to 20 inches, put on some nice open sights, fairly similar to what I've got on the 358. Potentially do some quick detach Rusan pivot mounts, being that Rusan is, I'm pretty sure they're Serbian, and this is a Serbian rifle, so it might fit quite well. I kind of like the synthetic stock, because it is going to be a bush throw-around gun, and the fact that Zastava synthetic stocks are actually quite nice. So we might keep the synthetic stock. We'll do some sort of sling, whether we keep these sling swivels or not, I don't know. We'll do something with that. And then we're definitely going to replace that recoil pad because that's dog shit out of 10. But yeah, not a bad rifle. And guess what? I got it for really cheap too. So, lovely. Actually, it did come with a scope. Really dog shit scope. So I'm going to flog that off. That'll return some cash into this. So I bought this gun for $545. So quite the steal. I'll flog that scope off. So whatever I make back on that, maybe $100 or so on that scope. Like it's not a terrible scope, but it's not something that I would personally use. It's a fixed power. And then we'll go from there. So if you want to see me do a transformation, blueprinting and all sort of stuff on this rifle, leave it in the comments. If you don't, well then go and watch another channel, I guess. No, in all seriousness, thanks for watching. I hope you got something out of that. I'll see you next video and hooroo.